It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Texans and the Jets next on EA Sports.
Here's the former Florida Gator Eddie Pinheiro to get us started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And incomplete to open things up.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Mills on 2nd and 10. He's going to air it out deep for Amendola. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. They got his man complete. A huge play there for Houston. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one at 62 yards in the air. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Working the middle, and he's got it complete to Akins, the tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 2nd down, here's the option. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. On the option, they go with Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal, and they sent that play backwards.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. He's at the 50. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So the Jets now in great position here to start things out. They're led out by a former #2 overall pick in the draft from BYU with Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Wilson, short throw hauled in by Croft, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Michael Carter. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run the counter. It's Carter. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
He don't want it.
Malik Collins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. And the first play will be a field goal try. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Desmond King now to return it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. And he's got Amendola on the connection. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8. Here's Mills. Out to the flat here for Johnson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Play action now, Mills. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now Carter to start the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Running left on the handoff, Carter. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Don't do us like that.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Another run on 2nd down with Carter. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Carter. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job And then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Short throw hauled in by Croft. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Wilson will throw again. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Here's Desmond King on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Let's go.
The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. A first down throw for Mills. Throw complete right side to Cooks. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, here's Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mills on 1st down. He's got Jordan complete right side. That catch good for only a couple.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this 1st half.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
From the shotgun, it's Mills. Looking deep now for Amendola. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Mills to the air again. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one unless there's another defensive penalty.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will do it for this 1st half. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And the Jets head out on offense here to start this third quarter. Second half starts with a run by Carter.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Carter once more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He finds Corey Davis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Right back to Davis. It's complete.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards.
And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. A handoff for Carter. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Zach Wilson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. But defensively, it didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about coming out of college. You're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
Wilson going to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. That bumps their lead up even further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. To return it now, here's King. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
First down, Mills. And that's going to be incomplete.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mills. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And that will come the offense as they take over. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. On
1st down, Wilson. And he's going to go down.
And the Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Ross Blacklock busting through to get him for a loss of 6. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's Wilson.
Davis, nice grab.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40.
They'll run. It's Carter.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound the ball and try to finish off the game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On 1st down, it's Carter.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4.
2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, a run with Carter. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On 2nd down now, it's Carter, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. Houston's offense taking over again. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. On 1st and 10, Mills. Screenplay, Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. John Franklin Myers, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Second and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Mills, he's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets this all the way inside the Jets' 20 into the red zone. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Mills now looks to throw on first down. Out to the flat here for Johnson.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Mills to throw it. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Not much there, only a yard. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field.